big whips, big joints, big blunts, it's the Buckeye way. We rolling nothing but that loud Buckeye loud pack. Let's roll up Ohio. Heavy bass hits, horns rise, mastermind cannabis, Ohio Cannabis Live. We here to unite. Let's light it up. Ohio where we roll high, big whips, big vibes, big joints, big blunts, Buckeye loud for life. From 216 to 614, we keep it lit. 330 and 740, we the ultimate. Nothing but that loud pack, the pride of the state. Roll it up, light it up, let's elevate. From Akron to Canton, Columbus to Dayton, Buckeye buzz so strong, there's no debating. You can see the smoke rise, we shining bright. Ohio loud got us glowing in the satellite light. Ohio Cannabis Live, yeah, we here to stay. Uniting 88 counties in a major way. Let's roll up Ohio, let's toke and chill. Big blunts, big joints, yeah, you know the deal. Buckeye loud pack, we blazing the game. Ohio forever, remember the name. Let's roll up Ohio, we rollin' proud. You can see the smoke from space, it's that loud. From the fields to the streets, we feel the thrill. Ohio's the anthem, let's roll and chill. We on a whole new level, Ohio's the vibe. Big clouds in the sky, Buckeyes ride or die. From 419 to 513, we keep it tight. 937 and 440, we ignite. Big joints in Columbus, big blunts in the south. From Toledo to Cleveland, we lighten the loud. Ohio's united, this our time to shine. 88 counties reppin', all on the grind. Put it in a joint, light it and smoke it, Buckeye pride strong. Ohio's the focus, from I-70 to 71 we ride. Ohio Cannabis Live, keeping us unified. Let's roll up Ohio, let's toke and chill. Big blunts, big joints, yeah, you know the deal. Buckeye loud pack, we blazing the game. Ohio forever, remember the name. Let's roll up Ohio, we rollin' proud. You can see the smoke from space, it's that loud. From the fields to the streets, we feel the thrill. Ohio's the anthem, let's roll and chill. Ohio, Ohio, let's rise together. Buckeye pride, yeah, it's now or never. Big clouds, big vibes, we set the tone. Ohio's
Yo. All right. What's up, everyone? It's your boy Mastermind here for Wild Cannabis Live. Welcome back to another live stream here on Friday. And you know, the T word doesn't get used on our channel very often. And I felt that it was absolutely necessary for me to cover this. It wouldn't be cannabis news. I wouldn't be doing a service if I didn't talk about this, because this is huge news that has got to be uh, discussed. I mean, as a community, with all this going on in Ohio, um, we have to talk about this. So the reports are coming in that the president of the United States is planning to sign an executive order on Monday that could, and I'm going to use the word could, uh, reschedule cannabis, or in their words, marijuana. But we call it cannabis around here. This is Ohio Cannabis Live. My name is Mastermind. I've been doing these streams since 2019 with a goal of informing people about legal cannabis in Ohio and beyond. Throughout that time, I have had an opportunity to meet many of you. I've had an opportunity to meet people who own these companies, these dispensaries and whatnot. And I've had an opportunity to be a part of the political process by testifying against various amendments, and also was a part of the original committee to legalize cannabis in 2019 before the pandemic started. So I have been involved in this way more than I ever thought I would be. And now, as we look at things on a bigger scale, just to put this in perspective, after the government shutdown, the longest government shutdown in U.S. history, they slipped in a provision that would ban intoxicating hemp cannabinoids. Now, I think that for the most part, the reaction to that was not a positive reaction. I think this was designed to hurt a lot of businesses, but there are bad actors, okay? And we have to acknowledge that there is Chinese weed being sold at gas stations and corner stores, and these things have unknown origins. We have to acknowledge that there is no age gate for hemp products in Ohio. We have to acknowledge that businesses are operating under a guise that they are dispensaries when they are absolutely not. We have to acknowledge that things need to be straightened out so that we have a successful program. We have to acknowledge that the taxes in Michigan just got raised to 24%. But to explain that, you have to understand that's a tax within the structure of the retailer and not necessarily the tax on the side of the consumer. But it still drives up the cost and is going to make more people think twice. Also, in Senate Bill 56, it clearly says that, going to Michigan and bringing weed back would be a crime. You would be punished for that. So that's another thing that has always been a crime to cross state lines with weed anyway. It's a federal crime. Everybody should know this. This is no, because we legalized it or it's legal in Cali or all that. People keep saying you could fly. Be wary. The way government is right now, they don't even know what the laws are. So I'm just giving y'all a PSA, man. Be careful on what you think the law is right now and focusing on what you can see in writing in the Ohio Revised Code, for example, which is what I like to go by when I'm trying to make sure I'm giving y'all the most accurate information. Um, but back to the bigger, national news of this title and this video, I want to get the reaction from the people who are going to watch this now and later about whether they believe that this is going to happen on Monday, because this was a rumor during the shutdown he was going to do this, and there was the weird commercial that I should have played for y'all that he was on. He was talking about the endocannabinoid system. So maybe he's being getting educated. I hate to say this, and I don't even hate to say this. If someone is educating our president about the benefits of cannabis, I don't have a problem with that at all. None at all. If someone has changed his mind, y'all, and got him to smoke a joint, maybe, or gave him a tincture or something that made him feel better about cannabis, let's go. But what I don't want to happen is that people who are doing good work here in our state, who aren't doing things that are illegal, who are operating within the law, I don't want you to go out of business. I don't want you to lose your livelihood over this. For those people who are doing things they shouldn't, how can we help you do the right thing? How can we help you evolve from that? We should always be not looking to punish people for doing something wrong, but to find a pathway to guide them in the right direction to do something great. I've heard so many stories of people who have done things that were wrong and how they have turned their life around to God, their community, their family, their loved ones, whatever. So I know that because someone makes a mistake doesn't mean that it's permanent, that they're a bad person. It doesn't mean that they can't change. It doesn't mean that they should be treated any differently than the next person. People who have served their time for whatever the crime may be deserve a second opportunity and maybe sometimes a third or fourth opportunity to reintegrate into society. This is why I'm doing an expungement clinic next year for my expo. This is why it is so important. I don't want to call it a clinic workshop. I keep going back and forth about what it's going to be called. But the goal here is to help people learn how to clear their records. I'm going to learn with you. I don't have any idea right now how it works. And I understand that incentive of physics will change. But I also understand, and you should too, that if the governor signs this bill, and then on Monday, Trump signs this other thing. Well, we're going to have conflicts here. So I say that to say that all this stuff could have just been done intentionally, and that this is all one big punk fake. I used to have a show out called Punked. They're punking the cannabis community right now. There are places all over the country that want to legalize cannabis. They want to make it illegal again. When it is about to become legal all the way, there is a resistance we are fighting. So in the comments, I see there's only 9 people watching this video, and I think what it is that I don't typically mention stuff about the president. I try to keep away from these things because they're so controversial. But at the end of the day, news is news, and I'm here to bring you the news. And the reason I think that it's important to talk about this is because how it can impact Senate Bill 56. I want to let you know again why I am so far against Senate Bill 56. And I wanted to be clear for those license holders who could be watching this, business owners who could be watching this, and whoever else. The point of the matter is that as a cannabis consumer, we should have certain protections and rights. And Senate Bill 56 almost ensures we don't have those rights. It also makes being a cannabis consumer much more complicated and much more risque. For example, they want to say that the product has to remain sealed in its original packaging during transport and that it cannot be opened. So that means if you go buy a bag of weed from the dispensary and you open it, well, oh no, you can't leave your house with it now. You tell me how that makes any sense. For people who are growing, yes, the plant count, they're messing with it. They want it to be lowered. They're saying it's 12 plants period, whereas the original law said you weren't in trouble till it was 24. Now it's 12 strictly. No matter whether it's a cutling or it's a veg or what, it's 12. So at the same time, we we're going to have to re-educate everybody. This is not even if they sign this. He's signing this bill today or tomorrow. I think he's waiting to see if this order gets signed. What y'all think in the comments? Now, every week on my stream, we talk about these things, but I also want to talk about the weather because we are, some of us, preparing for what could be a significant snowstorm. So I would like to know if you have snow on the ground in your area right now. I'd also like to know if you're medicating right now on anything interesting. If you have had anything interesting come up that you think that Mastermind should know about, please please comment because every comment helps us build up the momentum of the channel. Um, there are so many things that I am trying to do that I stay overwhelmed, and we're looking for helpers. We're looking for volunteers. We are not a big corporation. We are not rich. We are not millionaires. I live in a house that is not all that great, but it is a nice house. But I barely got it. And I have to do everything I can to keep it. So no, I'm not rich in any way, shape, or form. I'm a regular person like you who has spent the last 5 years in front of a camera trying to help people figure this out, try to help them learn about this. And throughout that time, I've vaped weed, I've smoked weed, I've dabbed weed, I've ate weed, I put it on the cracker. I've shown you every aspect of consumption that I could possibly show you. And at the same time, what I've also been doing is I've been studying. I've been studying what you've been saying in these groups on social media. I've been studying what you've been saying on Reddit. I've been listening to what people are saying about these events. I've been going to the events, whether it's a gray area event or whether it's a business to business event. I have been going to these events to learn how we could do things in the future that will be safe for us, how it can be informative for us, and I'm convinced the number one thing that we need to be able to do is have a place to go, have people who know what they're talking about, and give people opportunity to get information about how to get in the cannabis business, how to get your record cleared if you have cannabis charges on your record. If you're not interested in starting a cannabis business, but you want to be employed in the cannabis space, how do you get a job? What are the steps? What's it like? These are things I think are useful. When it comes to the veterans and why I decided to do my expo Memorial Day weekend and in conjunction with it being the veterans holiday, is because my neighbors are veterans. My family members are veterans. I haven't served personally. I wasn't healthy enough to do so with my brain injury. But I have a huge, huge respect and heart for veterans. And I want to make sure that they have a seat at the table in this cannabis stuff in Ohio. And I want to make sure that people have an opportunity to hear what they're going through and how this cannabis plant, whether it's hemp or whatever, has changed their lives, helping them with PTSD and other ailments that they're suffering from their service. Um, you know, people with cancer, um, they are using this plant to survive. People, they want to take away people's names off of the organ transplant list for using cannabis. It's in the law. They want to make it to where you can only buy blunts and papers at the dispensary. Only. We only have 200 dispensaries. Hey, Mama Mastermind, appreciate the super chat support. We got a new thing too. I don't know if y'all see it on the screen yet, but it's called Hype It Up or something. And you can do a hyper up thing too. And I think that's something new we can do. Um, as far as the channel, the way this works here, we have to raise $100 a month to get paid anything. If we don't hit the goal, we get nothing, even if you're sending it. So every little bit counts. And I just want to again thank all of the people who have been contributing. Thank you to all of our channel members. Just keeping in mind that a special opportunity is coming for you next year. I don't want to tell you what it is yet, but I do want to tell you something else. That if you work at a dispensary and you're a bud tender or you're a manager or you want to come to the expo, we're going to see that you'll be able to get there, and I'll be announcing some more about that at a later date. But I'm going to have y'all there, believe it. Um, you know, as we look at the situation we have right now, and I'm looking at some of the things you're saying. Uh, hey DJ 8816, glad you made it. Glad you here. How are you doing today? How you like that Rainbow OG Jimmy? What else is on here? Snowed yesterday. Expected more tomorrow. Same here. Same here. Um, Glad you're here too, Lynette. I'm sorry I missed you last night. I was right in y'all's neighborhood again, off of 480. Um, so something else I want to talk about is the midterms next year. So let's just be real. A lot of people are upset about Senate Bill 56, and some of them are celebrating it. Those who wanted the low quality Chinese junk off the streets, they're celebrating this. And I don't, we can all agree, nobody wants to buy no Chinese crap weed. Now, if they have some gas pack, got me chinky eyed, yeah, bring it. Japan, China, I don't care. I'm not discriminating. But I'm just saying, if it's not for us and we can't see where it came from and who grew it and who tested it and all that kind of stuff, these are common sense things, everyone, that I think everyone can say, yeah, I'm cool with that. Get a check, get it tested. No, no, I don't want no Chinese weed at the gas station. Nah, but, but I think people are still okay buying blunts, wraps, hemp wraps, um, regular natural CBD source products. I think the stuff's still okay, man. It's just, you know, when we have that loophole of THCA really just being weed and really no oversight for that, um, that's where our problem started. And this all goes back to 2018 Farm Bill and how our legislator reacted to that bill and how they crafted what was considered to be allowed. So that's where all this is messed up at. So I want some of you who are angry at companies to refocus some of that anger and some of that frustration in a positive way, let me say that, to the legislators, because they're the ones who ultimately put this together with the influence of others. And we were not able to hold them back this time. We've held them back many times on changing these laws. And this time, we did not win. And you know the saying is you win some and you lose some. But y'all know Mastermind, and Mastermind I don't like to lose. So I'm still holding out hope and faith that at the final last minute, something happens that stops this from happening so that we can get more time to work with legislators. I said that. Work with legislators to craft a more sensible amendment. I like to call it, shall I dare call it, the 420 Amendment, the amendment to make everybody happy. I can outline to you right now what the 420 Amendment looks like. And if y'all want to write it down, if somebody steals it from me, I don't care. We're recording this video. It's the 420 Amendment. If I don't write it, somebody else will, but we need to do it. So let's talk about the hemp part. First of all, I think that we need to stop separating these plants. Hemp, THC, what it is, it's all weed. We need to stop trying to make it, just let it be one plant, first of all. Second of all, when it comes to the businesses that are already in the system, who are already selling the stuff they're supposed to be selling, just add the oversight that was missing: testing, compliance, inspections, taxes. Also, allow partnerships between these companies and the other companies. So instead of them competing against each other, they can complement each other and work together cooperatively. Example would be, I've got a head shop here. I've got a dispensary right next door, just like they did it in Cincinnati. Y'all remember Have a Heart? If you never saw the Have a Heart video, go back and watch an example of what a cannabis complex should look like in Ohio. We had a medical marijuana doctor on the end of the building, a head shop in the middle, and a dispensary on the end. There's only one like this in the whole state that I'm aware of, where you had everything right there. And it was inside the neighborhood where people could just walk to the place, walk to the doctor, walk to the head shop, walk to the dispensary. You didn't have to get on the highway and go down in a back road in the country somewhere to find it. It was right there in the heart of Cincinnati. And the name was accordingly named, Have a Heart. Now they have evolved to a new name for those that live in Cincinnati. Check them out. They call it the Garden now. So it's one of those deals where um, we have to continue to figure out a way to not only innovate but educate and remind them that there are people who use cannabis for pain management, such as myself, who would not be able to operate properly without their medical cannabis. And that, if they do the descheduling thing on Monday, rescheduling, I'm saying descheduling because I want it to be descheduled because that would just take it off the list altogether. But this executive order cannot legalize cannabis. So everybody understands that. It just can't. It has to be legislatively done through Congress. And then he could sign it like he did this other crap law he did. So what's the ask? What is the ask that we need people to do as we go into the holidays? I think the biggest ask that we can give everybody is have faith. Have faith that God is going to take care of all of us who believe in the faith. Let's let's stop fighting each other. Let's stop the division. Let's stop all that hate that's out there. Let's take the plant and really show the government how wonderful it is and what will happen if they were to legalize it. How many people's lives would change overnight? How many people would feel a huge weight come off of their shoulders? How many people would become healthier again? How many businesses would thrive? How many stocks would go up? I mean, I could go on of all the positive energy that could come from legalizing cannabis, marijuana, weed, whatever you want to call it. I could tell you that in my vision, it's going to happen. And the reason I know this is because I have faith. And you look at the optics of everything and you say, how can you get the country feeling better? Right now, everybody is broke and stressed and divided. But one thing we all agree on, well, there's two things. Prices is too high on everything, and we all love weed, right? So when you're sharing this video with a friend, tell them that the point of this video, even though the title is about the president and his potential signing of an order, which I do believe is newsworthy for me to be covering, that this stream is also about what we got going on in Ohio. And that is a situation where we have to start working together. We have to start supporting each other in a number of ways. Um, and this involves us actually physically getting together. And it doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to be an expo. So, what I intend to start working on, in addition to the expo, is what I'm going to be calling the mastermind meetups. What is the mastermind meetup? What does that mean? The mastermind meetup is going to happen in two different ways. One, in person, with me there. The other way will be virtually for those who can't travel, because I'm not forgetting about you or those who don't have money to travel or are afraid to travel. I'm not forgetting about you. So that's why we will start doing virtual. Um, the other thing too is at these events, it's not necessarily going to be focused in on cannabis specifically, but I am who I am, right? Of course. But we're going to have a couple of different themes. So I'm going to let you know what a couple of those themes are going to be. And then I'm also going to allow you to help pick some of the themes of the meetups. So not this year because it's too late this year, but next year there will be a Christmas mastermind meetup. There will be a Thanksgiving mastermind meetup and a few others, Halloween. But some of the other ones I want to do, I think will be fun, is I'm going to do a astrology one, like looking up at stars and planets and things of that nature. And bring your telescope if you got one. I got one that you'll be able to use and look at the stars. Um, and no, I'm not talking about stargazer. So the other thing that I want to do is some different educational things that talk about cannabis, but also are funner and more about life. Like, for example, I would like to do uh, some videos about influencer stuff. Like, how do you make? What is it like? What is the dip? What's the difference between somebody just being on here making videos and then somebody being an actual influencer and having to go through the things that an influencer has to deal with? What is it like to be a public figure? How do you become a public figure? What are the steps? Um, how much does it cost? What is it like if you want to become a member of the press? How does that work? How do you become press? So I think those are some things. I think a lot of people. How do you do camera work? How do you do something like this? Let's see if it'll work. Ah, I showed you it didn't work. But normally I could put my hand up right here. This camera is not cooperating with me today. But normally I could put my hand up and the camera would just start to do its thing. But it's not doing its thing today. You wretched camera, you. So make sure my doggy wasn't there. But the idea, when I first started out, I didn't have this kind of technology. I didn't know what I was doing. I was wasting money on the wrong things because I didn't have the information on what to buy. I was winging it. I went from having a big old desktop all the way down to the laptop you see me with right now that you can't see. I went from having a regular webcam to having a camera that will let me get up and it would follow me around the room. And I'm still sitting there. I'm still not used to the fact that I can get up and walk up. So another thing that I'm working on, and you can't see it yet, but I'm going to turn off my background so you can see, um, is a new workspace that will help me a lot. And I'll show you a little bit about where it's going to be at. So right now, as you've known, we're in my kitchen. You've seen the kitchen already. So over here is the other part of my house. This is where the living room is. And you can't really see it right now, but there's a corner over here. Maybe if I go over here, let me see this. Try this. Maybe you can still hear me, but there's a corner over here that isn't used. And it was Miracle's corner, but Miracle got her own center stage. And so I'm gotta go come up with the money for the chair, the desk. Because my girlfriend wants her table back, and because I using the you can't have dinner at the table because I have. Let me show you. I got all this stuff over here, man. You can't even see it right now. It won't let me show you. But this camera's something. I can get down here like this and see it lost me. It can't find me. Where'd he go? I can walk around. I get all the way down here to the ground. So, and I always feel like I got to be sitting in front of the camera, but I don't. I mean, I have to be up on my computer, but I don't because I have a mic on. It's what you're hearing, the audio through the mic. I could walk all the way downstairs to the lower level, and you would still be able to hear everything I'm saying. So yeah, it was evolution. There's light. There's actual like professional lights that are lighting my face up right now, like on TV. Oh, it got dark in here. So all this stuff to say that I could be doing some more stuff to help people learn. They want to create content. Um, another thing about this situation we're in right now is that a lot of people could be getting ready to lose their jobs right before Christmas or right after Christmas. And I am praying for you, whoever you might be, that this doesn't happen. I take it very seriously. I have struggled with this whole thing from the very beginning because I felt like if we could have just done something simple, age gate, taxes, testing, done, we would have all been okay. And then, of course, eliminate all poor quality, low quality stuff and synthetics and all that. I mean, who on here likes synthetic weed or low quality weed or shall I say Delta 8 weed? Who on here likes that stuff? Let me know if you like it, why you like it, if you do, and are you still buying that stuff right now? Are you going to keep trying to get it even after they ban it? I don't want you to say yes or no to that because that could be incriminating. But I'm saying I don't feel like it's all that popular anymore. Like I don't feel like people are going head over heels out of their way to buy Delta 8, to buy THC. I don't see that. And in the comments here, I'd like to know who on here really believes it's gonna happen. I also noticed here that I missed this a while ago. Jimmy gave out a membership, and ET ETGUJ received it. So welcome ETGUJ for being a member. Thank you for joining us. For those who are new or be watching this later, let me just explain how our membership program works. Um, it's $1.99 a month. What that does is that helps support operations for Ohio Cannabis Live. For the most part, Ohio Cannabis Live is pretty much me and my friends and family who help keep it going. We don't have much, but we're doing the best we can. I've built literally everything you see from scratch, all the way down to this logo that I made on Canva. And I really had to learn a lot of this stuff. But there are people here in this chat, um, Billy Jose, um, Jimmy, Lynette, even my mom. I had to really take time to explain everything to her. Um, oh, you got some new babies in the tent? Okay, all right, that's what's up. What strains are they? Hey, I didn't even know you was in here, Bomb Token G for Jesus, man. How you been doing? Good to have you in here in the chat as well. Jimmy, your comment is loading right here at 4:53. I don't know what's going on, if that's some kind of trick. Now, I also want to let you know, I don't mean that you're doing that. It's funny how all flowers just THCA. You're right. It is funny, Billy. It is funny because it's just another like metric in the lab report or something. It's like it doesn't matter to somebody who's gonna put fire to it because it's gonna still do the same thing. Right? Right. And though we all have to say it out loud, THCA is weed. It always has been, and it always will be weed. Okay? Now, I also want to remind y'all the tickets are on sale. Ohio Cannabis Expo 2026. We're doing this. We're still doing it. For veterans, the code to get it free is VET 2026. For medical patients, and Jimmy and Lynette, could you please retype this into the chat for people with the website to the expo? Um, Ohio, all capital, MMJ 2026 is for medical patients. And I am working on the code for bud tenders. So that will be happening. So bud tenders, your code's coming up next. Um, I also would like to give a special shout out to our very first sponsor, Dialed In Gummies, Rising Gummies. Thank you, Dialed In, for dialing us in. I look forward to helping y'all learn a little bit more about Dialed In Gummies later. But again, thank y'all. We also have a few exhibitors who have signed up, but those names are forthcoming. Um, but anyway, we're off to a good start. We've got a lot of excitement, also a lot of worry in the industry about what's going to happen when Senate Bill 56 actually takes effect, and that's something that we will be talking about extensively over the next 3 months, if at all materializes. And just look at it like this: my first time testifying and making public appearance was Senate Bill 9. That was years ago. Now we are in Senate Bill 56. There's been 86, 160, 198, 86, 76. There's some, they never used 420 though. And it sounds crazy. I can understand your frustration with that. Um, what Bone Token with Jesus is saying is that it's frustrating to go to a dispensary and you have these newer. What I'm going to say, because I we have like a different generation of bud tenders, right? Y'all get that? Like we have our original bud tenders who have moved up in the company, got promotions, or went and done something else. And then we have a new generation of bud tenders who have just got into this. Some of them have never been in the cannabis space and don't really know anything that they. Um, and then let me just tell you, the education program is not there like it should be. So and then the other thing is that bud tenders be completely restricted on what they can and can't say to you. And then the other problem is that there are so many changes. There are name changes. There are policy changes. There are rule changes. It is so many things for anyone involved to keep up with. This is why I do what I do. And this is probably one of the most important things in the aspect of the cannabis space is to have me and others. And there are others. I'm not the only one doing content. I do want to shout out that there are others who are doing content, and I do think that it's okay to give them a follow, to give them some support. So I'm going to name a few of those companies right now. One of them's called Ohio Media. Sh- Check them out. I've got a video or two on there. Another one's called Between the Buds. Shout out to my good friend Broderick. Go check him out. Ohio Cannabis Report. Check him out. He's on Instagram a lot. He's on Facebook a lot. He's learning, still working on his craft, but wonderful guy. And I'm blessed to be able to help to be a part of inspiring others to come out of their shell, to put their face on camera, to say I'm against the things that are wrong and to celebrate the things that are right, to document the culture, to show people that this isn't a bad thing, to help destigmatize this. I never intended for it just to be only Ohio Cannabis Live. That was never my vision. I wanted it to be something like a network, uh, television network of sorts, that others who are creating content could be a part of. This is why we are going to build or start the Riley Media and Event Center. Will not just be geared towards cannabis content, but just have a place for people who don't have a lot of money to go to do content or to have an event. So that's why it's going to be the Riley Media and Event Center, because we intend to be able to do events there and we want to be able to have content created there. So it's not Mr. Beast stuff, but it's something like that. Um, and if you don't know who Mr. Beast is, Google searching and watch him, and you'll learn that the inspiration for everything I've done and where I'm headed is similar to what he's doing. I'm not trying to be Mr. Beast, but I do think that one of the things that I like about Mr. Beast is that he has made enough money that he can help anybody he wants whenever he wants. And he loves to do that. He loves to help people and he loves to support others. And he loves to help people learn. And that's kind of what inspired me. And this guy, I watched him go from a kid to a grown man. I followed him all before he was even viral. I was already watching Mr. Beast. So people know him now, but I know him. I know of him before all of that. So I watched his very first videos when he was just playing video games, trying to figure it out. And I was so inspired by what he done and what he took his channel to do. There's a lot of other really famous YouTubers, and Kai Cenat, another one I'm inspired by, who started out just playing games and now became a global phenomenon, right? You probably have heard of Kai Cenat. If you haven't, another person you should Google search, who is doing great things in the community. Some of these influencers are building their own programs, their own education, their own philanthropy. I mean, they're building housing. They're just doing amazing things, and that's where I want to be someday. I want to be able to say that yes, I started as Ohio Cannabis Line, but we expanded to a bigger base, to a bigger mission that encompassed educating the entire planet. And it's a monumentous task to be in a position to give people information and then always have to worry about misinformation. And that's something that we have going on actively in Ohio, but we have to still look at it and say, listen, it's weed. It's weed. And all we needed to do is be free. You don't need all the complexities that they're trying to put into it. We want to make it as simple as possible. I am a simple person, but I am mastermind, so there is complexity to me. And I just feel like, with the 420 Amendment, we look at simplifying the law, that it is all one plant, and we equalize the protections for everyone so that everyone has some protections in regards to this. We get rid of probable cause searches for smell of weed. We we make sure that the tax that does exist is specifically for rec, and that medical patients don't pay any taxes at all. This was something that was even proposed by the senators last year. Was no medical tax for medical patients, which is how it should be because you don't pay tax on your medications at the pharmacy. You don't. And we also need a state-funded educational program that is geared towards everything that they want, making sure kids aren't accessing it, making sure parents are being educated on how to look out for if their child is using cannabis, and if they are, what do you do? What are your options? And do you find out why is your child using cannabis? Is it for some reason that maybe they're having anxiety, maybe they're depressed? It could be so many things. And if it is just because they're trying to look cool, and that's when you're having that conversation about, is that really how you want to live your life? Is your life about looking cool, or is your life about living a life of success and prosperity and wealth? Because looking cool don't pay the bills. So it's one of those things where we could take everything and use it as a unique opportunity, as a learning point. And there are children who do utilize cannabis under these medical conditions. Autism is a great example. Seizures and things like that. It's been demonstrated many times that cannabis, certain forms, tinctures mainly, help kids with autism or people who have seizures. And there needs to be more done about developing that out further and developing a program that makes sense to make sure people continue to have access to these type of products. Because if they don't, they don't. Another thing that I think that it should be in the bill, is that there shouldn't be any situation where someone can be taken off an organ transplant list for using cannabis. That shouldn't be. That shouldn't be. If I don't fight for anything else, that shouldn't be, y'all. This shouldn't even be a conversation like that. We're talking about someone's life. We're talking about saying because somebody smoked a joint, they won't be able to get a liver or a kidney transplant or a heart transplant. No, no. We're talking about someone getting fired from their job because they smell like weed and being told they can't file unemployment. No, no. But these are things they've already done. It's done. You hear me? It's done. So next steps, how do you get it undone? You've got to plan on voting. You have to. We have to. We have to clear house. And we need to bring in new blood, especially people who have green blood, like the green in this hat. We need to bring them in. We have to. I'm just looking at Mr. Beast is cool. It's called Vote Them Out. Yeah, you're right. You're right. And that's it. I mean, you saying it, I'm saying it. We're on the same page here. It is vote them out. It is take care of each other. And it is don't be mean to people. Just because I don't agree with Senator Huffman or any of these other individuals, it doesn't mean I need to be mean to them. It doesn't mean that I need to say horrible things about these people. That doesn't solve problems. So I'm not here to say anything negative about any politician, anybody. I'm here to bring you information and respect everyone involved. No matter what political party you believe in, Mastermind loves you and cares. Whether you are a recreational user or a medical patient, I still care. And this has been the mission for 5 years. And it took me a while to figure out what, I was supposed to be doing. But I have received my marching orders from God Himself. And He has told me the most important thing that I can do, that you can do, that we can do together is very simple. And that is simply just be together. support one another, respect one another, try to love each other, even if we don't agree. And we need to stand against all forms of hate. And we need to send the most positive wave of love and energy to anyone and everyone who is currently suffering, who is currently sitting at home terrified they're going to lose everything they got over one of these bills. Because there are people sitting at home who are debating horrible things. And we have to pray for them. And we have to support them. And we have to just be real with ourselves. 2018 Farm Bill should have never happened. We should have just legalized weed then across the board. There would have been no need to make Delta 8 products. There would have been no need to do this whole THC thing. It would have not happened. We wouldn't need a loophole. So I think the common thing is we need nationwide legalization. We need a pathway program for anyone who was charged for selling drugs. Anyone nationwide. They need a pathway program that takes the best skill sets that they already got and gives them a path to being a part of the legal fabric of this plant. We need to turn it upside down on itself and start thinking, okay, somebody said this to me earlier. How can we barter with it, trade with it, that kind of thing? How can we create whole new economy models, whole new markets with this plant that we don't have now in Ohio and beyond? How can we innovate it beyond just smoking it and dabbing it and rolling it up? How can we take it to the next damn level? Just think about it for a second. If it was nationwide legal, what would that mean here? The state would be furious because everything they're doing right now would be undone. It wouldn't make sense, even though they're still going to push it anyway. But some people are afraid of nationwide legalization. They say it hurts the black market, it hurts the cartel and everything. If we would stop being so mean to everybody, man, why does a corporation got to become a cartel? Why can't it just become a corporation? Most of them are operating like that anyway. And our government, we're operating like damn criminals, man. We're killing people on boats and we're snatching people off the street. America ain't like it used to be. It is a very dangerous place. We have to be careful where we are, what we say, and what we do is subject to scrutiny from whoever, some Karen, someone that didn't like what I said. So here I can't make everyone happy, but what I can do is say, regardless of whether you agree with anything I've said tonight or any of the other videos, that when I see you out there, I'm still happy to shake your hand. I'm still happy to take a picture with you. I'm still happy to medicate, whatever. I'm still happy to respect you even when we don't agree. And that's about forward thinking. That's how we used to be until the pandemic. And if we can somehow turn things around and get people back to forward thinking, and this is why the new model for Mastermind Cannabis is going to be keep thinking. Never stop thinking. Because the moment you stop thinking, you're missing it. You're missing everything. There's always more to it than what you're hearing, even here on this stream. There's more to that. If you have any time to read Senate Bill 56, do that. If you don't have time, guess what? For $6.99, you can sign up for Adobe AI, and it can read the whole thing and summarize it for you. And then you can ask it questions. $7 a month. You want to read 1,000 pages quick. Or you can ask my website. My website is trained on it too, but it's still learning. So my website does have an AI in it. I am controlling that AI. My Instagram has an AI too now. I'm probably sure you probably have talked to the AI. Some of y'all need to stop playing with my AI. I ain't saying no names, but you know who I'm talking to out there. I'm just joking. But no, I'm not. But I am in a way. So you know who I know you're watching, so that's why I'm messing with you right now. So, you know, I did this because I wanted to make sure people's response messages get in. But make no mistake, even though we have integrated AI into our site, we are oversight over it. We are monitoring it. When you talk to it, we still get your message. Whatever you're saying, it still comes to me. I'm the one that sees it. If you get a message back and there's some weirdness to it, it's more likely me talking to you and not the AI. The AI might say all kinds of crazy shit. Disclaimer: the AI might make mistakes. The AI might say some shit that ain't true. So don't be saying, "Oh, if you didn't hear it from me directly and you didn't see me, you didn't hear my voice." This whole thing could be a clone, right? Nah, we passed 15-second rule. But I am mastermind. This could be a clone, is it? Wait. Nah, DJ 8816, we're really here. Keep your gardens green. Yes, yes. You're absolutely right. So, you know, it's Friday night. We're getting ready for a storm. I want to know what's for dinner. Please do me a favor and leave that in the comments. If you're watching this on the replay, there's a new feature out called Hype. And you have like the little icons underneath the video, like right down here, and slide it over, and you'll see Hype. Click on that for me. It's a new thing. I want to see if it works. Um, can we hype it up, y'all? Let's get it hype. Hit the hype button. Can you hit it live? I don't know, Jimmy. Try it out. You just got home from where? Home from where you come home from? You had a mail cart once, and I was on the phone with the physician for 15 seconds max. He didn't address me by my name and was calling me from Kansas. That's because they've gotten really lax on that telemedicine. um, that's the answer to that right there. DJ V8816. So it is one of them things where uh we had to watch that. Just got home from having some private made decoast. Okay. Bought a 5x5 setup, a marketplace for a friend so he could start growing the giving season. Well, that is wonderful. That's wonderful. And that's what it's all about. Thank you for sharing that with us, Flash C4. Love the name because I'm a big Flash fan. If you haven't seen my Flash videos, check it out. I'm pretty fast. But it's one of those things that we do as growers is we feel like we want to give stuff, and I had to, really think about that. Like I'm real particular about what I give somebody because I want to be something good because I want good feedback. But then, sometimes people's like, man, you gave me some stuff and it really helped me. And I'm like, well, what was it? And they're like, I don't remember. And I'm like, well, that didn't help me tell you, help you. I gotta know what it was so I can give it to you again. So again, feedback's always important. You don't see a height where it actually says it. You're sure the user scroll soul side where live comments. Let me go on my phone to see if I can see it on here while I'm live. I mean, I am live. Let's see what happens. Um, Let me see. Um, Hold on, y'all. Let me get it. Let me get it. Um, huh. Well, that's weird. It doesn't. Um, Weird. Doesn't actually show me live. Let me see. See this YouTube? They just updated YouTube literally right before I went on my stream, and uh, yeah, I see what's going on now. My thumbnail didn't get updated. Um, so now it's weird. I'm checking it right now. Hold on. They're making me watch these ads. All right. Oh, at least we're not that far behind. I can hear the lag. Okay, yeah. Well, I don't know what's going on here. This is weird. Um, I don't have no buttons, y'all. I don't know what to make of this. You know, I'm actually live right now. I'm showing myself the phone in the phone. Hmm. Let me try something, y'all. Hold on. Um, Turn off the Wi-Fi. Um, okay, no. So it's not there. So let me go back to a video I already did. Um, okay. So here is the button right. This is the 360 video we did at the Consumption Lounge in Vegas. So hold on, I'm trying to. Okay, so here is the video. Okay, you see like and everything, and then you slide it over. Wait a minute, y'all. My camera's moving with me, so hold on, y'all. Now I don't know why I have this trouble. There, height. So it may show up after the video's over. So when the stream's over, make sure y'all do that. Now, before I go, I would like to attempt an experiment with y'all live. If y'all would like to hang out for an experiment, if you don't want to, I get it. It's already past our normal live streaming time, live in time. And what I want to do is I've got this 360 camera here, and you're supposed to be able to go live from the 360 camera, which I have not been able to get it to do. This is a big part of what I'm trying to do. So while we're live now on our regular stream, uh, I'm going to live stream on this and see if it pops up on here. And then if you get the second alert that we're live somewhere else, um, I would love to see if you're able to see the 360 video. The problem we're having right now with it is couldn't figure out how to how to make it work. It just did not work right, you know. So I'm trying to figure it out, get y'all the 360 joint, you know, and they got so many options: 360 live and then reframe live. So then create live stream and it doesn't really more settings. Let me see. Disconnect. It doesn't really give me um what I'm looking for, but I'm gonna just turn it on anyway and just see what happens. Let's see. When I go to create a live stream, error code, live stream failed, broadcast not found. So it seems to me like, let me try this other one, reframe live. Okay, here we go. Confirm. Okay. Oh, I see what's going on. I didn't have my, well, when you connect to, this is weird, man. Anyway, it's not like working the way it should. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, I wanted to do this and use it, but it doesn't work like you would want it to. You want to go live on it, but it doesn't. So anyway, tried it, didn't work. So sorry about that. When it does work, you'll get an alert that there's a 360 video, and hopefully it will work. Um, I'd like to know what y'all medicating on. Is it on your Wi-Fi network? Oh, we troubleshooting. All right, now let's see. It's one of these deals where, and this is a failure of some of this technology. It operates on Wi-Fi, so like you have to connect to the device to its Wi-Fi, and then once you connect to its Wi-Fi, then it will connect to Wi-Fi through itself. So like through the app, there's an app, Insta360 app, um, and we're connected, but then it says account authorization, and then I guess what I have to do is I have to go back and reauthorize YouTube, I guess, and maybe that's why it ain't working. Let's see. Create a new live stream. Okay, here we go. Test live stream 360 stream. We are testing it. All right, y'all. I'm gonna test it out. Start time is today. I don't know about all this. Save time, live stream time, and end time. Okay. Start live. Connect. Here we go, y'all. Okay. So, but what I'm noticing here, well, huh. All right. So I'm live. Um, so you should be getting a notification of a test live stream. Now, I don't know how well it's going to work, or do I need to wait, create a live stream? Live stream has stopped. So we used it. So then it started a whole new one. Test again. I don't know. Like, again, we're just testing this out. So I'm going to see here. Start live stream. Okay. And then we should be able to start it. Yeah, there's something not right with this. So it seems to be, um, there we go. Wait, it's connecting. Yeah. So it seems like to me it's something wrong with it. The Arcadia train wreck tastes great. Really? Okay. You back? It says upcoming on your other channel under live. Okay, great. That's why I needed to know what was it saying. Refresh it, try it again because I created another one. Um, Let me look on here on my end, see what it's showing me here. That's just like weird to me. Like I don't know why it ain't working right. It just says connecting. It doesn't actually show us being on the computer, and this at the same time is causing a problem. So I'm gonna sign off here, and I thank all y'all for watching the live stream, and we'll see you guys on the next stream. Thanks again to our sponsors on our expo, Dialed In Gummies. See y'all in the next stream.